What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I know news has been a little light this week, but I found two or three pretty spicy meatballs for you all today. And we're going to be reacting to what's some new memes in the subreddit. Maybe talk about what's going on in Discord. We've got a lot to keep you busy today. Now, Ricky Gervais is a legend. You might know him from the original Office. You might know him from his podcast. You might also know him from Afterlife. But what most of my viewers also know him from is destroying Hollywood in his various monologues at the Golden Globes. And yesterday, or a couple days ago actually, he quietly put out a tweet that is a very spicy. And on top of that, it looks like some new claims as of yesterday. Robert Downey Jr. Also exposed a ring of these people. All right. You know who I'm talking about. The ones that like them young. We'll just say it that way. So it all started with Gervais talking about Afterlife not getting nominated for an Emmy. So he puts out this tweet. Hashtag Afterlife did not get nominated for an Emmy this year, but this did. Outstanding Live Variety Special, the 77th Annual Golden Globes. That's some conciliation, I guess. Thanks, Hollywood. Oh, and stop effing kids. Cheers. Now, we've talked about the just pure degeneracy that goes on in Hollywood right out in the open. It's shocking to me that so many people in Hollywood just know about this, but don't say anything. I mean, we know the whole thing about Jeffrey and all of his buddies, but you can see all this stuff. I'm genuinely a little bit scared that Ricky could be ended if he keeps speaking the truth. Ricky Gervais is just legendary. Does not care. Oh, God. The memes in this thread are unbelievable. I happened to watch your Golden Globes and saw your monologue. I had no idea. I started researching when I started hearing stuff and realized what you were saying was true. Thanks for waking me up. And you go on. Here's Jenna Jameson saying, if you thought Jeff was unique, you're sadly mistaken. There are many people like him that make him look like an amateur. Child hunting games, all sorts of other creepy stuff. And they say, is everyone here just gonna ignore him calling out the peds in Hollywood? No, I'm here to cover it because it's important, and it's one of those things that YouTube doesn't want people to cover. They bury these type of videos. And look, I'm not speculating here. Okay, YouTube, you hear me? You hear me? By the way, smash like if you enjoy the variety of topics this week. I know news has been light, and hopefully, if I haven't yet, I will have earned your subscription today. There's a little red button down below the video. Just click that. It'll make finding my videos easier. I get told all the time, hey, cover this topic, and then I'm like, hey, I covered it 2 days ago. So hopefully you're doing that right now. I'm not speculating, YouTube. This is somebody from Hollywood saying what we all already knew. And his original roast about self-important Hollywood people was legendary. Ricky's monologue at the Golden Globes this year has been viewed an estimated 300 million times around the world. That was back in January. But interestingly, I don't know if all of this is connected, but even if we go back last week, we saw Gervais drop another nugget of truth, saying anyone mildly conservative on Twitter is labeled as Mr. Hankety Clankety from WW2. Ricky Gervais called out the lack of online discourse and sees as the new fascists on social media. The often controversial comedian and creator of the UK version of The Office appeared on talk radio for a recent interview about the show's 19th anniversary. During the discussion, the host asked Gervais if he thinks the beloved sitcom could be made today, to which he noted times have changed and there's a lot more to worry about when making comedy than there was 2 decades ago, which is a primary reason why it sucks. I mean, It's very difficult to find good original comedy being produced. Now, it's still here on YouTube, Gumroad, and various other websites. You know, you can find good comedy, but anything produced by Hollywood is just sanitized garbage. He goes, there's this new weird sort of fascism of people thinking they know what you can say and what you can't say. And it's a really weird thing. Now there's this trendy myth that people want free speech, wanted to say awful things all the time, which isn't true. He explained it protects everybody. He added 2 catastrophic problems with the term hate speech. By the way, it doesn't exist. Is 1, what constitutes it? Everyone disagrees. There's no consensus on what this even is. 2, who decides? And there's the real rub, because obviously the people who think they want to close down free speech because it's bad are fascists. And it's really weird, mixed up idea that these people hid behind a shield of goodness. I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's words that are offensive. I'm just, I don't want anybody to get their feelings hurt. So we're going to just ban this word. Even if it's used in context or in an inoffensive or sarcastic way, it must be ruled out. It must be removed from the zeitgeist. He goes on to say, social media amplifies everything. If you're mildly left-wing on Twitter, you're suddenly Trotsky. If you're mildly conservative, you're Hitler. And if you're centrist, you look at both arguments, you're a coward, and they both hate you. I mean, that's basically true, right? I mean, it's hard to disagree with that. He goes on to say, what's not in place and what never should be in place, you mustn't say something that someone somewhere might find offensive just because someone somewhere might find anything offensive. As I've always said, just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. Offense is good because it makes you think and makes you come up with an argument. And what's happened recently is I'm offended has replaced an argument. So you just got to do your thing, he concluded, sleep at night and know what you're doing a decent job at and stuff. Well, I mean, I am very happy that Ricky Gervais is saying this. Extremely happy. But also, it's easy when you're already established. I want to see more young people, more young comedians kind of step out and say, I mean, look, Dave Chappelle's another one, I would say. Chappelle pretty much hasn't changed, and he makes all the same jokes that he always makes, and he doesn't really care about offending people, and I think that that's another really good example. But most comedians in modern day are just boring, PC, orange man, bad, lazy hacks. But then, here's something interesting. Nobody covered it. July 29th. This is a day ago, 2 days ago, right? Robert Downey Jr. did not blow the whistle on a Hollywood ring claim. This is by the Associated Press. I didn't see anybody else covering it. AP 7, false. The words attributed to the actor have circulated on social media for years and can be traced back to anonymous comments on a gossip blog. Downey has never said anything about matching these statements. His attorney confirmed. Why do you think that he's so worried about being attached to this statement? I'm just saying. An Instagram post viewed more than 68,000 times in 24 hours this week claims an elite Hollywood ring is emerging before our eyes, and the Iron Man frontman Robert Downey Jr. is here to tell us about it. Well, what do you mean? We just had Ricky Gervais out there saying it. We have mountains of evidence. Why would these people be saying, why would all these Hollywood celebrities be saying this? What about Corey Feldman? There are people right out there in the open. Movie star Robert Downey Jr. has made a shocking revelation and lifted the lid on a major ring in Hollywood that connects powerful elites all over the globe, the Post reads. It continues. Not only has he named some well-known Hollywood celebrities, but he's also ousted one of the most powerful people in America. Now, the Associated Press says Robert Downey Jr. did not say this. Robert Downey Jr. was so afraid of being connected to this, he had his lawyer make a statement. It's interesting. I don't think it's really something that we have to consider when you have, Ricky Gervais right out here in the open saying, hey, maybe stop doing that. We've had countless people come out and talk about this and reference to it. We need more strong people like Ricky Gervais out there. Dave Chappelle is one, but he's not really in Hollywood, is he? He kind of just exists on the fringe. And all of this, you know, right now, while certain things are trending, you know, certain things are trending on Twitter. Like, I wonder why. Now you see all these leaked documents. There's over 2,000 of them, and you see important message. She is home. Please call him. I mean, these are all just gross stuff. And all the people connected to all this, a lot of Hollywood people too. But of course, we can't talk about that. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.